So I learned today of a long-term care facility located probably about half mile, 3/4 of a mile from my home in the city. Um, and I learned that it has 200 and I think I might butcher this a little bit, but I believe they said they had 224 beds in their establishment, and they have had 204 confirmed cases of COVID-19. They've also seen 24 deaths. Obviously, that hit me hard. Just to hear of such a onslaught of the disease. There's some part of it that I think feels even scarier, knowing that it was so close to us. But obviously, I know that it's happening, and I know that these nursing homes and these elder care facilities are major targets. The way I heard about this was not in all of my daily research. I actually heard about this in a Facebook group that I belong to, and it's a moms in business group. And somebody had reached out and said, hey, if you haven't heard about this, there's this nursing home that has seen a tremendous amount of infliction from this disease. And obviously it's got the residents very down, as well as the hard essential workers that are going into a place like that on a daily basis to care for all the people in there. And they said that one of the things that they were trying to do is they were trying to encourage other people in the city to have their kids draw pictures and write letters to the people that live there and work there, as a pure act of kindness to help encourage people that are struggling, that are having a really hard time, and can't have, for those of them that have familial support, can't have that familial support with them now. And this kindness got me thinking. I was so happy to see it because in the past week or two, I felt a little something different in the air, at least in the city, which is obviously where I am. And I wanted to bring mention to it. And this kind of, I've been thinking about it for a few days, and then this happened, and this kindness made me remember that I wanted to discuss. I felt like in the beginning of this, the first week or two, there was a tremendous amount of shock. As I've said before, kind of a paralysis of what was really going on. And then I felt like our emotional stance was for many people to be very supportive and very kind to those around us, whether it's walking down the street, or as I say, taking a scoot around the neighborhood with the kids, smiling at the other neighbors, just giving off that feeling of togetherness, kindness, those random acts of kindness, doing things to make people feel better in this, whether it was asking an elderly if you could try and get some groceries for them or whatever it was. And I still see that, but I felt like in the last couple of weeks, especially as some of the social distancing guidelines have been loosening up a little bit, a lot with that. And then obviously with just kind of understanding that there is a socioeconomic part of this pandemic, I feel like there is some fear that is causing negativity as well. I've seen it, I felt like on political fronts, on socioeconomic fronts. I think that there's a little bit of fear in people's eyes when they go out and the way they look at other people. And this has just kind of got me thinking a little bit. I don't necessarily think this is the way we should be and need to be. I understand that this is scary for everybody, myself included. But I think we need to find our way back to the kindness. To those of you who have just been kind of this ray of light throughout this, kudos to you. I know I've had days that I struggle too. Obviously, I try and be a strong pillar of strength for a lot of people. I've got some bad days too in which I second guess things. I have some fears, I have some doubts. But as we start to transition out of this, I think it's a really important reminder to respect other people's decisions. As I've said before, respect social distancing, but also choose to respect those that have different visions than you. You don't have to agree with them, but I do think that we need to at least be respectful of one another. If we could all just remember to be kind, as I say every night, I think that's one of those things that I think will go a long way, especially now. And I think we started out this pandemic great, But I feel like as we transition through this and as more differences start to show their colors a little bit, I think it gets a little bit more challenging. And this is where I think we as a society need the reminder that we can continue to be kind. And we may not agree with somebody, whether it's their beliefs on social distancing or their beliefs on their business or their beliefs on whether or not they're putting masks on their kids or not, or masks on themselves. We have to remember is that we can control our own actions in this. And that's the important thing. And I think that's the thing that we've learned is that we can do what we choose to do in this, and we should be okay with this. And even if we don't agree with what somebody else is choosing to do, let's remember to still be kind to them. So that's all I wanted to share tonight. Just a reminder of kindness in this as we start getting to these points where we have these major difference of opinions. Let's continue to be Chicago strong. Let's continue to be Chicago together. I know we can do this, and I know we can do this in the best way possible. So on that note, be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to one another, especially if you have differences. Take care of yourself. As I mentioned before, you have the ability to control your own actions in this. Take care of one another. Be smart in your social distancing. I know for some the nice weather today was a challenge, but let's remember to be smart. The numbers in Chicago are still very, very strong. I am grateful to have you as part of my journey in this. Thank you for all that you have given me. I'm hopeful that I've given something back in return. I will look forward to the next time we meet. Be well and have a wonderful evening.